Dane goes back to his room and storms back in, cursing up a storm and cocking his shotgun. Cocking his shotgun? What the fuck?
Yes, you!
You have returned to Quora Explorer! Listen. I just read the title, and now I will get into them today, yes? I'm just gonna make it chilly in here, dog. What is the worst experience you have had with a crazy roommate? Commando knife and the shotgun. I'm probably going with that one because it was the newest. A week ago today, I live and work at an apartment complex in a section of Philly named Roxonborough. It's a smaller place, just a little over 200 units, and only 4 people work here. One of the guys wanted to get together to have a few beers, and I said, cool. But not here because my roommate is acting like a total asshole. So Chris, who also lives here, picked me up and we went to his girlfriend's apartment. She lives here too, but on the opposite end of the complex. We start drinking and laughing and lose track of time. By now, everyone has gotten the munchies, but Claire, the queen of carryout, has no food. Chris only had frozen stuff, he said. So I tried to think if I had anything quick and easy. I don't eat much or like going to grocery stores, but I remembered I did have some cheese sauce, rotel and corn chips, so I told them, let's go make nachos. On the way back to my place, Claire said she wanted to say hi to my roommate. I told him not to bother him because he's still in a shitty mood. His normal mood is usually pretty shitty on an average day, but he's been extra shitty lately. She keeps insisting, so I told her if he's up, she can say hi. We come in and I go straight to microwaving the cheese and rotel and talking to Chris when I hear someone screaming. Claire runs into the living room, Dane right behind her, wild eyes and holding a huge knife. He's screaming about the stupid fucking cunt, ignorant bitch fucking whore who woke him up. Claire is pretty shaken up and Chris looks scared shitless. Don't fucking wake someone up just because you want to meet them. Like, what the fuck? Listen, if I was like sleeping in my bed and someone like woke me up to try and talk to me like, oh, hey, I just wanted to meet you. I mean, I'd be pretty pissed too. Of course, I wouldn't take a fucking knife, but you son of a bitch, you come in here, you wake me up, you motherfucker! Dane is a pretty big guy, about 6'3" and around 250 pounds. A former bodybuilder who still has a huge chest and big arms. He keeps yelling ignorant shit, and I was honestly confused and more than a little buzzed. So I had to yell over him to try and figure out what the fuck happened. Dane goes back to his room and storms back in, cursing up a storm and cocking his shotgun. Cocking his shotgun? What the fuck? It's not your granddaddy's shotgun. This is a 15-round street sweeper called the Utah 15. Not something made for target practice or hunting. Its only purpose is killing, and killing lots of people really fast. Yeah, this guy seems pretty fucking reasonable. Yeah. As a fucking street sweeper? Okay, cool. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, what a great roommate, yeah! Claire runs and hides behind me as he points it wildly around the room. Chris is frozen in his tracks, so me and Dave get in a yelling match again, talking about killing everybody, and now I am realizing he's mad at me too. And the irrational kind of mad when nothing sinks into your brain, the kind you get from living off anger and smoking so much weed, sun up to sundown, that you never dream and there's no normal outlet for the conflict in your head. Oh, so fucked in the head. Okay. Dane finally decides he's going to bed and stomps back to his room. That was quite the buzzkill, so Chris and Claire left while the coast was clear. I realized it was after 11 p.m., so I went on to bed too. Yeah, you know, when someone comes in and threatens you with a knife and then afterwards a fucking street sweeper shotgun, yeah, that kind of is a little bit of a buzzkill. I agree, yeah. The next morning, I'm doing my usual routine, drinking coffee out back and feeding the squirrels, when I hear the glass door slide open. I figured it was Dane coming to apologize, but no, he wants to continue his bullshit. The yelling match starts again, but I'm tired of it now. I don't like to argue with irrational people, and I hate raising my voice. So I tell him to fuck off and go get ready for work. We haven't seen or spoken to each other since. Amazing because the department isn't very big. Of all the stupid shit he does, that probably pissed me off the most. For one, it's extremely rude to point guns at company. Extra rude to call a woman cunts and whores and bitches. And I already felt bad because I was sore from the wreck he caused the day before. Fucking Wendy.
Now, little Timmy, whenever you have guests over, it's extremely rude to point your shotgun at them, so don't do that.
Ah, okay, Papa.
didn't say anything about the knife, though. We were going grocery shopping, and Dane, with shitty reflex time because he's always high, turned right in front of another car and got us in an accident. He turned so quick in front of another car that she didn't have time to touch her brakes, so we took a full speed broadside on my side, and I was pretty sore from that. I still have a hard time taking a deep breath because I jacked something up when my body smashed into the side of the Jeep. The poor woman's car was total, and it was a miracle she wasn't killed or seriously injured. Dane kept telling me he wasn't high, he hadn't smoked since he got home. Well, bro, if you smoke all day long and stop an hour ago, you are still under the influence. But did I get mad? Nope. I was, and damn, concerned for her, a lady who was resident where I live. But mad? No. I wasn't mad the day before when he begged me to go explain to a businessman in town that he was sorry he acted like an asshole to him. I wasn't mad for all the road rage confrontations I've been in because of him. Not mad about him standing in the parking lot screaming about cheap Jews. The place I live and work is ran by a Jewish family, and half my neighbors are black, and his rants about how illegal immigrants and their children should all be killed. Not mad that he watches TV and says how he hates almost everyone on every show and how they should get cancer and die because he doesn't like their face. Wow, this Dane fella seems like a chill guy. Definitely nothing wrong with his head. Definitely shouldn't see a psychiatrist. Everything seems perfectly fine. Also, what watches a TV show, and just because he doesn't like someone's face, is like, fucking goddamn, I hope he gets cancer. I hope this fucker gets cancer. I don't like his fucking face. I'm not even mad about how he says shit like, don't ever talk to me. I'm in a bad mood. Just like a spoiled 3-year-old child would. Not mad that he constantly makes comments about me smoking. I've smoked my whole life. He knew I smoked when I invited him to move in when he lost his place after his aunt got sick. Not mad that he pays me $300 a month to live in a $1,600 apartment and I pay all the utilities, but he acts like everything I say and do is an inconvenience. Well, honestly, you should, kick him out then. What I am is embarrassed for him and sad that a person I thought was basically a good person with a few bad parts turned out to be a bad person with a few good parts.
What the fuck did you say?
A good person with a few bad parts? What are you talking about, dude? Anyway, this guy fucking sounds crazy. What the fuck? Like, I understand he might be like a friend of yours or something, and you're inviting him in to, because his aunt fucking died. The dude only pays like $300, acts like an asshole, acts like you're an inconvenience all the time, complains that you smoke even though he smokes more, fucking pulls out a knife and a shotgun at your guests because they woke him up.
Holy shit. We might have to send him out to the fucking clinic here, the brain clinic. Get him fucking checked out.
If my roommate is like always inconvenienced by me and my fucking everything I do, well then, good luck on the streets, buddy. Bye-bye. We also have a comment under this story. The comment says, you need to cut that boat anchor loose, in my opinion. Just remember, you got your givers and you got your takers, and takers love givers. That is a really good saying. And listen, I've felt that in my life before. Yep, I used to be a giver too, but nowadays I only give to people I actually trust, not everybody. And the writer of this story writes, that was my plan, G-Ann. I took a new job in a lot better place and I wasn't going to bring him with me. I had a talk with him and decided to give him another go because I was only supposed to be at the new place for 4 months before I moved to an even better permanent position in an even better place. Since we moved, he had done a complete 180. He's been paying his fair share of bills, keeping the house clean, acting like the person I knew before he changed. I'm sure it was just depression and anxiety making him act that way. I don't give up on people too easy, and for once, it appears loyalty has paid off. Wow! A good ending. Okay, I think like the big guy with the knife and a shotgun, you know, he has so much anxiety, so much depression, and he's like smoking all the time, and who knows, might have been taking pills too or something to act that way. I've had visits from my cousin Mary Jane, right? But I've never acted out like a fucking psychopath. I read that he wanted to take him with him in the fucking response, and I was like, I don't know if you want to do that, buddy. But it paid off. Fucking crazy story though. Shotgun and knife. Okay. I'm glad I read that. That was fucking cool. So the next question was,
What is the worst or weirdest experience that you have ever had with a roommate? I had a roommate who seemed like an okay guy, if more extroverted than I am, who went completely off the rails after he moved in. He had a remote analyst job with some financial company, not Goldman Sachs, but along those lines. Apparently, they kept sending him too much work with too tight of deadlines, and he started using stimulants to stay awake and complete the reports. He went from being good-natured and possibly one of those guys who makes up stories to sound more badass, to being a raging paranoid who thought I was trying to steal client data for identifying theft.
Seems like bro started using that Colombian pearl, man. Fucking sweet white stuff. And apparently went off his rocker. Holy fucking moly!
The window to his room faced the prevailing winds, and it was still winter in Northern California. He would leave stacks of paper on his desk, bed and floor, and the windows wide open. When he returned, the wind would have blown papers off the desk and bed into a jumbled mess. He accused me of entering his room to steal information, then make a mess to hide that I'd taken papers away. He wouldn't believe that the wind would have done it, and maybe he should shut the window during winter storms.
You leave the house, you leave your windows open during winter? Listen, I understand you kind of want to fucking, you know, air out your room, but fully wide open when there's storms going around? The fuck you doing, bro?
You're trying to steal my papers! I know you're trying to get my secrets, you son of a bitch!
Dude, it's winter right now. The windows were open. The wind blew them off the fucking table and shit. Oh, nice try, you son of a bitch. I know what you tried to do. You tried to get my secrets. You trying to sell my secrets, boy? Oh, fuck it. So it seems like this dude might have already had a problem with the fucking person they're staying with, so they're just gonna assume that they're trying to steal.
He thought maybe I'd stop stealing his stuff if he stopped letting me know he was leaving the area for client visits. So he disappeared one day and left his car parked blocking another neighbor's spot.
Oh my god, blocking a neighbor's spot. Fuck off. That would piss me off royally. I would key the fuck out his car.
I thought he was just at the coffee house around the corner and called his cell phone. Instead, he was in a meeting and blew up at me for interrupting him. He said never to call him again. I sent him an email hoping he had left a spare car key so we could move his car, and he said never to harass him via email again. Meanwhile, our neighbor still can't move the car.
Uh-huh. Okay, sorry, I won't fucking call you in a business meeting again. Jesus Christ. Fucking idiot. God damn. Alright, fuck it. I'll just write like one email, you know, just to let him know, like, hey, your car is like blocking the fucking neighbor's car, so it would be kind of cool if you could, you know, move it when you get back or something. Alright, then email sent. Oh, an email.
No, again, he's just sent me one email. Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
A while after that, I had been at the lab so much that I didn't even know if he was around or not. But a horrible rotting smell was coming out of his apartment. He had looked very unwell the last time I'd seen him, so I was worried that maybe he had finally overdosed in there or something. He'd already told me not to contact him, so I called the police for a welfare check. They searched his room thoroughly, including the closet, in case he'd hidden in there or something had hidden him there. I stayed out because I didn't want any accusation of tampering with his papers
again.
Well, too fucking bad, because, the cops are already touching all of his shit, and he's gonna blame that shit on you, because he's, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo.
It turned out that he'd left for another trip and hadn't bothered to finish the steak he was eating at his desk or throw it out in the kitchen garbage. What I had smelled was the rotting rare beef. A few days later, he returned and exploded when he entered the room. In searching the closet, the police had seen a bundle in his closet they took for a person wrapped in a duvet. It was a 5-gallon carboy of beer he had brewed in our kitchen, bundled up to protect it from freezing. The officers had left it exposed to the light, which oxidized it, and the batch was ruined. He was sure I had done it myself to get revenge and tried to attack me. I had to flee the apartment with the clothes on my back and the bag I had left by the door. He started threatening me anytime he saw me, and I managed to get a restraining order. Unfortunately, his schedule was too erratic for the police to manage to serve him. Even though I had lived there for 5 years and he'd been there 3 months, the landlord believed his stories that I was stealing his company's data and told me I needed to move out. I suspected he also bribed them, as his job was well paying and I was a starving student. I managed to complete and defend my thesis somehow, but this was terrifying and I don't want any roommates anymore unless I know them already.
What the fuck? So dude is like fucking overworked, right? He's getting like so much shit, but he also has time to brew some beer. Hey dude, go buy some beer. What are you doing? Fucking, you don't have time for that shit. And then you wonder why he has to use stimulants to fucking work and get shit done. Dude in his spare time is fucking brewing beer. Brewing beer, God bless America, son. Also, what the fuck is with this landlord? Dude was there for 3 months, starts talking about some schizo shit, while the person who wrote the story lived there for 5 years. Who do you trust more? The guy who just moved in starts going schizo all of a sudden, or the person who's been paying you for 5 years straight? So all in all, this guy is a fucking nut job, alright? I think he might have overused some stimulants there. Also, I'd like to imagine him every time he sees the writer, right? You! I'll fucking get you! Don't touch my papers! The thing I would have done is go to the landlord when he starts fucking blaming you for something, because I ain't gonna deal with that shit. Someone just starts accusing me for something I didn't do. Hey buddy, fuck you! I tell the landlord, hey, you gotta get this fucker out of here, huh? And now we go on to the next story, friends.
She fornicated on my bed when I left the city for a weekend. I had the misfortune of living with this woman for about 4 months in 2016. She already was occupying one room of the house since about a year prior to when I moved into the other room. I thought I'd have some peace since we both have our own rooms. I was wrong. She partied, not like Saturday night let's chill kind of parties, but the lesson known Monday afternoon let's raise the roof kind of parties. It's not like I had a problem with anybody partying. Loud music, alcohol, drugs, sex, all in full flow in my house, and I never said a word because I honestly did not give a fuck. As long as it's the weekend and I don't have to go to work tomorrow all drowsy because of lack of sleep due to your highnesses partying in the middle of the week. Now let me be clear. I have no right to judge anyone for their lifestyle, and I don't do it for as long as I can help it. As long as I can help it! She used to bring home a different guy every night. If she wasn't partying with all her friends right outside my bedroom door in the living room, she was pre-gaming with some guy in the kitchen before they leave for wherever they were off to. She met them on dating apps, would invite them home, I'd overhear her telling each one a different lie about her background and workplace, etc.
Do you wanna know how I got these scars?
This was honestly funny, and after all the drinking and dancing around the couch, they would leave and then return at 2 a.m. to do more antics in the living room. After a point, I was concerned for my own safety, of having all these strangers know where I live and have constant access to the house.
And have constant access to that roommate of yours.
The incident.
I left the city for a weekend to go home. My room's lock was not functioning, so I told my housemate that in case she had guests over, she can use my room as long as she cleans up later, and also text me prior to her party.
That is a big fucking mistake. Like someone who brings guys over constantly, you let her use your room? Listen, even if you tell them that they should clean up afterwards, and if you ever want to fucking own a blacklight, don't turn it on in that room. Don't do it. You'll get fucking flashbanged by cum.
If you need to bust a nut, there's no nuts out there that this thing can't bust. It's a master nut buster.
Oh, sweet. I got a cool blacklight flashlight. Let's see how this works. I wonder if I have anything in my room.
I came back Monday morning to find the house littered with bottles, cups of alcohol, chips packets, dinner uneaten on the tables, and all things you consume at parties. I was still okay with it because I knew she would clean all this up.
Really? You sure?
Her guests, 3 men, were sitting on the couches talking about last night and munching chips. I turned to enter the safe confines of my room and found her in my bed with 2 other half-naked men on either side, everyone combing their hair or yawning or just waking up. She saw me standing at the door, made no attempt of hurrying up and getting these people out of my bed, leisurely vacating my room in the next 10 minutes and sat in the living room with her other friends. If it wasn't enough, I went in my room, which was entirely trashed with more food, clothes of these guys, and her bra under my pillow. I stormed out and told her to clean my room ASAP. She made a face like,
Why is this girl being such a buzzkill when I have my friends here?
and didn't move from her place for a long time, while I stood there with my heavy luggage, unable to sit on my own bed. I have no qualms with her lifestyle, but not respecting someone's boundary is very uncouth.
Well, first of all, you should have not told her to use your room. You know she's having parties. What, you think she's not gonna party in your room even if you gave her the fucking thumbs up? And also, tell you before she uses the room? Hello? Do you know who you're fucking living with? What the fuck? Like, come on, dude. Let me bet she had to clean up her own room. Because, like, the roommate did not do that shit. Nuh-uh. This story had some comments, so let's read them too. One commenter said,
My friends are asking for her faux profile. Apparently, they want to protest against her fornication habits.
you fucking slick son of a bitch. There's a reply, nice try, Winky.
Haha, for her sake, I'd like to keep her name and profile hidden.
I'm not gonna name like the comments, who wrote the comments, but it's why is it Indian guy? I mean, I'm not even surprised that it's mostly Indian guys.
In which city this incident took place, huh? What's her name? PM me. Seems like I was one of the guys, the room.
Yeah, whatever you say. Anyways, we got some horny Indians in them comments. So the moral of this story is if you have a roommate who loves to party and bring guests over all the time, don't let them go into your room when you're away. Because otherwise, yeah, you don't want to do that. That is it. That is it for today. These have been some interesting stories that I read.
And I hope you enjoyed my silly little comments as well.
There will be more episodes to come, but in the meantime, if you liked it, hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and have a blessed fucking day, buddy. And bye-bye.
You better enjoy the rest of your day, buddy.